बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। O Lord, from truth, lead us to higher truths. From darkness, lead us to light. From death, lead us to immortality. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om, this world, the higher world, the highest world, that Son, the adorable one, on the glory of that luminous one we meditate. May He endow us with pure intelligence. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam Nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagni Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Where shines the self, shines not the sun nor the moon, nor the stars nor the lightning, much less this terrestrial fire. For it is that one inner self of all beings which illuminates every particle of this universe. Hari Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Hai. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Sitaram, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, good evening. I greet you in the name of God on behalf of my sister-in-law Kumari, her sons Kenny and Ryan, my brothers Jerry, Hemant, Baby, my sisters Tara, Sati and Tiny, and all our family from both sides. We would like to thank you for your prayers, your care and support during my brother's hospitalization and since his passing. Many of you know my brother personally, but some of you may not. My brother Surendra Kumar Jagdeo, also known as John, was a very unique and talented individual. He was a wonderful cricketer, a fast bowler, a batsman. He was an excellent athlete, a distance runner of immense speed and stamina. He represented Skellin Estate and Gaisuko at cross-country races. He was an excellent and versatile singer of both Hindi and English songs of all genres. He was equally at home with Anup Chalota, Muhammad Rafi, Mukesh, or Kishore Kumar. He also loved country western music. Before migrating to Guyana, he had his own kirtan group and sang at many yagyas, funerals, wakes, etc. He was also a brilliant speaker and master of ceremonies for many occasions. John was a champion in strength. He was second to none when it came to physical labor. His co-workers used to marvel at his physical prowess. He was fearless in a physical confrontation and would defend himself and others from harm. John was a devoted friend, father, husband, brother. All who met him were impressed by his smile and humor. He loved to make jokes. As time goes by, we will narrate a few anecdotes of his life to illustrate the type of person he was. Losing him so relatively young is indeed a great tragedy for all of us, especially his wife, Kumari, his sons Kenny, Ryan, his grandsons Justin and Jaden, and all of us. May Bhagavan Sri Krishna be merciful to the Jivatma. I will now hand over the program to my son Yogesh, who has had a very close relationship to his late Chacha, and who is very close to his cousins Kenny and Ryan. Yogi has been the one who is the tech in these matters, and it was he who put out the beautiful graphics and the invitation, etc. Yogi is a very talented person who needs no introduction, and I have great pleasure in asking him to moderate this program. We invite participation from everyone: pundits, imams, pastors, singers, family members, friends, and sympathizers. You all prayed with us and begged God for a miracle. But He knows what is good. We, in our selfishness, wanted him here in this samsara, this jamera. God probably has better things in store for him. Before I hand you over to my son Yogi, I want to appeal to you to be cognizant of the time, since we want to afford everyone an opportunity to make a contribution. Also, if you want to make a contribution to the program, please send us a text so that we can be able to put you on to the program. So welcome to the program, and God bless all of us.
Sitaram Namaste. Sitaram Namaste. Good evening. I would like to thank so many of you for tuning in this evening to this virtual wake in memory of my dear late Chacha John, that he was popularly known as. We can't tell you how grateful we are as a family for each and every one of you, for your support, for your love and appreciation that you've shown throughout these most difficult times that we are all facing. I would like to start off the evening by singing a bhajan that I grew up hearing my chacha sing at many different funerals and wakes. This is the first time I'm going to be singing this song. I will try to do one of his songs every night in tribute to him. I don't think I can do it as good as he used to do it, but nevertheless, I'm sure he would appreciate me attempting one of his favorite songs. Please forgive my mistakes, and I hope you enjoy. जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, यही प्रभु का न्याय। वो ये बीच बबूल के तो आम कहाँ से खाए। जो जैसा कोई भी यहाँ करने का, जैसा कोई भी यहाँ करने का, वैसा ही वो फल पाता। दूसरों के घर में आग लगाने वाला नहीं है, इसमें चले जाना। जैसा कोई भी यहाँ करने का, I'm not sure who's there with us here this evening. We have to look through the list to see who's with us. But I believe we have my dear brother Ganesh here with us this evening, and I would like to ask of him to give his contribution. Ganesh, if you can unmute your mic. Just bear with us 1 minute so we can just put him up on the screen. Brother Dipak G with us this evening, and I would like to say my humble pranams to all the Pandits, and please bear with us as this is the first time we're doing this, this Zoom wake. You know, I've attended so many different Zoom wakes, and I never thought that I would have to be in a position to host one, but just when you think things like that, life throws you a curveball. Okay, double click on it.
Namaskar. I sit around to everyone and special around.
And just bear with us 1 second. I'm so sorry. We're just figuring out.
Can you access?
I'm sorry. Just double. Okay, Panayadeshi, please go ahead now.
He just unmuted himself.
My pranam, namaskar, Jai Sitaram to each and every one of you, and my palagi to all our Lord Panditjis that are on satsang here this evening with us. Before I go any further, let me take this opportunity on behalf of my family and I to extend our heartiest, our sincerest condolences, especially to Uncle Madan and all the siblings of Chacha John, as he's known to us, and my brother Yogi and Yadu in particular, and all the other cousins. Please do accept our sincerest condolences. I know it's tragic. I know it's very difficult, especially at this point in time where we cannot be together and we cannot pray together physically. Yet, thanks to technology, we are able to join in what is now becoming some sort of a norm that is called virtual satsang. So, without any further ado, I ask of you to please clasp your hands wherever you are, whatever form and name you like to see the Lord and you call upon the Lord. Let us take that form and name into the inner recessive of our heart as we join in prarthana and prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha. He Brajajandra Mukunda Krishna Nandananda Ghanasham Charana Sharana Mohirakiye Kripa Sindhu Bhagavan Yamaya Dhamrajaya Mrityave Chantakaya Cha Vaivashvataya Kalaya Sarva Bhutakshaya Cha Audumbaraya Dharanaya Nilaya Paramishthine Vrikodharaya Chitraya Chitraguptaya Ve Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. प्रेम से बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. प्रेम से बोलो नारायण भगवान की जय. For tonight, we pray and we ask Bhagavan Ji to grant the Atman of our dear Chacha a Sadgati is called, or Moksha, what we call liberation. And of course, we call upon the Lord to give the family the strength, the courage, and all that is necessary to deal, to fathom, to understand the loss of a father, a husband, a brother, an uncle, a friend, and most importantly, to be able to live on his legacy by the grace of the Lord. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. That's it. Thank you very much, Bhayogi.
Much, Pandit Ganeshwarji. Am I unmuted? Thank you very much, Pandit Ganeshwarji. Your support, your continuous support over the years means a lot, not only to myself, but to the entire Jagdeo family. And we are privileged to have someone like yourself to be a mentor and a priest within our family. I also believe that we have Pandit Ravi Ratan, also, who's another brother of mine, in our midst this evening. I would like to ask Pandit Raviji to make his contribution now, please. Thank you. Please unmute your mic, Panditji.
It is unmuted. Can you hear me,
Yes.
Panditji?
Yes.
Can everybody hear me? Am I? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
My humble Sri Radhe to each and every one of you. Let me first and foremost extend my sincerest condolences to the bereaved family this moment. I know it's not very easy to lose a loved one. I just actually passed through that a couple weeks ago. My mom who passed. And it's not easy at all to go through this and host these Zoom wakes and whatnot. However, I pray that Bhagavanji continues to bless all of you, give you the strength, give you the courage to continue to go through with this and to have faith.
Kumar,
I know in the end, you all will be all right, because this is just a journey. Shall we clasp our hands and close our eyes just for 1 minute of prayer? Oh. Anadinadino Deva Shankachakradharadhara Akshay Pundari Kaksha Veda Moksha Prarubhava Om Dandahastro Dharo Deva Dharmarajo Mahabala Mahakala Mahadeva Dharmamurti Namaste Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsacharmuramaranam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. As the Bhagavad Gita says that, fire cannot burn the soul, water cannot drown the soul, or this soul is indestructible. I know that from hearing about the greatness of your Chacha Yog and the brother of Dadaji Madan, I know he was a great soul. I feel as though I know him also from here on all the great things. And without, hesitation, I can tell you that this soul, Bhagwanji would grant the soul ease. I'm pretty sure with all the prayers tonight that will be received, Bhagwanji will grant the soul ease in the passage of where it is headed. Thank you for this opportunity. And again, the family continue to be strong. Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Panaravi, for your kind words and for your prayers for my dear Chacha. We have with us Auntie Carmen, all the way from Canada, from Winnipeg in Canada, and we would like to ask her to make her contribution. And then after that, followed by her husband, of course.
Give a little talk first.
The mom going first.
Yeah. Sitaram?
Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Where do I begin? This is such a sad moment. No one expected this time to come this early for John. On behalf of my entire family, I would like to extend my deepest sympathy, my condolences, my prayers to the entire Jagdeo family, to John's immediate family, to the children, the grandchildren, his grieving wife. We have been on Zoom weeks, as someone else has said. It seems like forever, like months we're on Zoom week. We pray that this virus will leave this earth. We pray for the soul of the departed, that Bhagwan will grant him eternal rest. Please join me, if you can,
What are you doing?
with this bhajan that I'm going to sing now. He Dina Bandhu Bhagawan, Prabhu Abadaya Karo Tum, Meri Bipati Padha, Dukha Doshi Ko Haro Tum. He Dina Bandhu Bhagawan, Prabhu Abadaya Karo Tum, Meri Bipati Padha, Dukha Doshi Ko Haro Tum. प्रभु की अनंत माया न भीर पाया प्रभु की अनंत माया विधि ने न भीर पाया ब्रह्मजाल में फंसा हूँ मेरी भुजा डरो तुम ब्रह्मजाल में फंसा हूँ मेरी भुजा डरो तुम हे दीन बंधु भगवान प्रभु अब दया करो तुम मेरी विभाति बाधा दुख दोष को हरो तुम तुम हो पिता और माता तुमसे है जीवन आता तुम हो पिता और माता तुमसे है जीवन आता ऋषियों की दल का स्वामी मही पर पटक डरो तुम ऋषियों के दल का स्वामी मही पर पटक डरो तुम हे दीन बंधु भगवान प्रभु अब दया करो तुम मेरी विभाति बाधा दुख दोष को हरो तुम जैसे राम की पथ में भक्तों के चित पथ में जैसे राम की पथ में भक्तों के चित पथ में हृदय में रहो विराजे नैनों से ना डरो तुम हृदय में रहो विराजे नैनों से ना डरो तुम हे दीन बंधु भगवान प्रभु अब दया करो तुम मेरी विभाति बाधा दुख दोष को हरो तुम हे दीन बंधु भगवान प्रभु अब दया करो तुम मेरी विभाति बाधा दुख दोष को हरो तुम दुख दोष को हरो तुम दुख दोष को हरो तुम
Thank you. Thank you very much, Auntie Carmen, for that beautiful bhajan. That was very soothingly done. And as you know, Auntie Carmen is the sister of my eldest Pua Tara's husband, Uncle Vishnu. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate your contribution here this evening. Originally from Golden Fleece, my dad said. I would like to ask your husband to do a song for us as well. But before that, we have Pandit Dipak in our midst this evening, and I believe he has to go. So I would like to ask him to make his contribution before he leaves. And then right after him, we will come back to Uncle to sing us a bhajan as well. Thank you. Pandit Dipakji, please unmute your mic.
Thank you so much, Yogesh. Jai Sitaram, everybody. Namaste. On behalf of myself and family, permit me to extend our deepest condolences, our sympathies to the Jagdeo family, to all the loved ones, friends on this grave loss. Chacha John was a friend of mine, and not only was he a friend of mine, he was a friend of my father's way before I came into the picture. And then, of course, started singing in yajnas with Yogeshwar and met him. I sang at many places with him alone. Yogi wasn't even around. We were good friends. And I think one of the things I would miss most about him was his smile. He had an awesome smile that would change your entire day in a moment. Of course, we do not understand fully what you all feel, but we offer our prayers and we offer our condolences, our love to all of you. I want to sing a Muhammad Rafi bhajan because I knew he was a Rafi lover. He loved Anam Jalota as well, but we'd leave that for you, Yogeshwar, tonight. And the rest of the nights as well, we can sing more as the time goes by. I hope that you would all feel some sort of solace and peace from all the prayers and all the songs as best as you could. Let us pray. Om Mayatitam Madhava Madhyam Jagadadim Vande Ramam Markatvaranam Mathuresham Brindaran Bandita Brinda Rakha Brindam Mayatitam Madhava Madhyam Jagadadim Atasi Pushpa Sankasham Pitavasa Samukchutam Ye Namasyanti Govindam Natesham Vidyate Bhavam Om Shanti 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 Chal ud ja re panchi चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना खत्म हुए दिन उस डाली के जिस पर तेरा बसेरा था आज यहाँ और कल वहाँ जोगी वाला फेरा था ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी 4 घड़ी का अंधेरा था। सदा रहा है इस दुनिया में किसका अब उदाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। हाँ, देश हुआ बेगाना के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना. Fly along now, dear bird, for this world is no longer yours. In the first place, this world is not ours to lay claim over. We are here for but a few days. Let us enjoy our life. Work hard we must, but lend and give what we know we cannot use when we will have left this life to those who would need it. The bhajan, of course, continues in great detail to describe all of this. And of course, Chacha Jan had given so much to all of those he met. I think he has done justice to that. Let me take this opportunity to thank you, Yogeshwarji, and your entire family for allowing me to join with you in moments of prayers and Geet. My condolences to all of you, all the siblings, the children, the Dharampatni, the grandchildren, every single one of you. My pranam and palagi to all the pandits, panditas present, and Jai Sitaram again to all of you.
Thank you very much, Pandit Dipak Ji. And Pandit Dipak Ji and my chacha used to share a very wonderful relationship, as he said. I remember, if I'm not wrong, the last time you met him in person, Pandit Dipak Ji, was when I came to Guyana to accompany you at that jug, and my chacha came with me to sing, and we sang very beautiful bhajans at the jag there at Crabble Creek, and we created some very beautiful memories. Ones that will last an entire lifetime. I was very privileged to learn a few bhajans from him. He was the one, him together with my dad, that first exposed me to all these Muhammad Rafi songs. And one thing I shared in common with my chacha, and I think Pandit Dipak Ji also shared this in common as well, is, and also my other brothers too, Pandit Ganesh Ji, etc. We all have this love for Arun Jalota bhajans. And that's one thing that I could have related to with my dear late Chacha. I would like to pay a very special welcome to, as my dad always say, our Kulguru, someone who is very, very special to our family, and someone who has a very wonderful relationship with my dear late Chacha Jan, and that is no other than Pandit Satyanand Sharma. Those who know the Jagdeo family will know the relationship that we have with the Sharma family. And I would like to welcome him to this virtual wake that we're having here this evening. And I would like to also put him on guard. He will be the next item after Uncle Bob from Winnipeg. Again, Uncle Bob and Auntie Carmen, we really, really appreciate you guys being here with us this evening virtually for this week. Over to Uncle Bob.
वीणा धरे विपुल मंगल दान शिले भक्तार्ति नाशनी विरंची हरीश बंदे कीर्ति प्रद अखिल मनोरथ दे महारे विद्या प्रदायनी सरस्वती नाम नित्यम विद्या प्रदायनी सरस्वती नाम नित्यम. Namaskar and my humble Sitaram to everyone. I do not know John that much, but I think I met Dooley at one time. Of course, their sister Tara and we joined the same family. And my understanding was that they came from a very respectable singing family. I heard their voices. I heard Tara singing too. And they are a very good example to follow, good company to be with. And it's so sad that at this young age, one has to move on. I have a small bhajan here which says, what you have to do tomorrow, do today. You have to do today, do it now. Death can strike anyone at any moment. Then what can you do? Says, one day, this life will leave this body and I will exist no more in this material world. Every living being must eventually marry the bride of death. Let not the mind lust at any physical wealth and pleasures. The services that we can perform, do it now, for you may never get this opportunity to pass this way again. So glorify the name of the Lord and receive his blessings. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, एकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, एकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। खूब मौज कर देख तमाशा, खूब मौज कर देख तमाशा, खेल में को खेला। करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, फिर पछताना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, एकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। कौरी कौरी करके झोरी, कौरी कौरी करके झोरी, भरा खजाना है। जंगल जाए जन बंदे रे, जंगल जाए जन बंदे रे, फिर पछताना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, एकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है।
much, Uncle Bob. Indeed, that was a very, very, very appropriate bhajan for this occasion. "Ek din hame bhi jana hai." One day, even I will have to go. And this is something that we all see happening. So many people has died during this coronavirus, this COVID-19 pandemic. But you never think that someday you also will have to go. You never truly understand this notion. And as I've said before, I've been a part of so many different Zoom wakes, not knowing that I would have to be the one to host one as well. So I'm giving myself as an example. Very beautifully done, both Auntie Carmen and Uncle Bob. We thank you guys so very much from the entire Jagdeo family, especially my chachi, Auntie Kumari, and my brothers Ryan and Kenny. Without much further ado, I would like to introduce, I would like to ask Pandit Satyanand Sharma, if he has the time. I would like to ask I would like to ask your excuse so that I can give my Puatara, my dad's eldest sister, the eldest sister of Pastor John, the eldest sibling of our family, my dear Puatara, to make her contribution at this time. After which we will ask our Kulguru, Pandit Satyanand Sharma, to make his contribution. Over to you, Puatar. Please unmute your mic.
Here. Can you hear me now? You're getting a feedback here. I want the video.
Our device is too close, so this is why you're getting the feedback.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. It's still echoing though.
Let this child come and stay standby.
We just can't see the video anymore. Yeah, we can see the video now.
Okay, you can see me now?
Yes, we can see and hear you now, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Sitaram. Good night. Assalamu alaikum. Good night. Assalamu alaikum. To all those who have joined in with us here tonight on our moment of grief. And I would like to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart and to tell them that I am proud of everyone and I accept your love, your support. It can be felt. All my family, all over who has joined in with us, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Everyone knows, who know us well, that death is no stranger in our family. We have experienced it in every form. All I can say at this time, that many more emotions race through my mind. Many thoughts race through my mind. Sometimes I'm confused. Sometimes I'm angry. Sometimes I'm hurt. I ask God sincerely for the last 7 weeks. I've never prayed so much for a miracle. But the good Lord see it in his way. And that we must accept. To all my sorrowing brothers and sisters, to all my family, my heart is broken in many pieces. It will never be the same. I take my memory back to when my father passed away. I was just 24 years old with 2 children. So you could imagine we're 9 of us, the ages of the others. Life has been one hell of a struggle for all of us. And it hurts to know that my brother came to America and did not get to enjoy America. We have left no stone unturned to bring him here. That is the tragedy of it all. We are all deeply, deeply, deeply hurt. And in my heart, for Bonnie, for my dad, my mom, there's scars that cannot be healed. Not even with time. It will go to my grave. But to all of you, I'm going to try my best to tell you my message that I have found peace. I've been praying since 3 o'clock this morning that I will find peace. I will find courage to make meaningful contribution to my brother's life. But tonight, I will not reflect too much on his life because my brother has done so eloquently, and so did my nephew. But I have a message in this song for my siblings and for all my sorrowing relatives all over. It goes something like this. I hope I can do it. But after 7 weeks of emotions, pain and hurt, please bear with me as I try to express myself in this song. When I find myself in times of trouble, the good Lord come to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in the hour of darkness, he is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. 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 Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. When our heart is broken and we join together in grief, there will be an answer. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. And though my brother is departed, our choice to stay united is his answer for all of us. Let it be. 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 That's his answer to all of us. Let it be. And when the night is silent, you will be the light that's shining. Shine on, dear brother, and let it be. And when I wake up in the morning, the sound of the Lord will be saying, you have found your answer. Let it be. 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 The Lord will whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 This is words of wisdom. Let it be my brother. I will always love you. I know you are a light. You will be a light that I will look for. And I will look for you always, my brother. Life will not be the same, but I have to come with peace with what the Lord has done. He has spoken. He's spoken loudly. He's spoken well. And I accept it and I will move on, but not the same. I love you to my brother Dooley. Brother, we have become the father and mother since my father died at the age of 52. And we, the two of us, are left to mourn the younger ones, and it is tough, it is hard. And I love you all. Thanks for listening. Bye, Yogi, bye.
That was very touching indeed. His family is blessed with a lot of talent in many different ways. As you know, my chacha was not only just a good singer, he was also a very talented athlete. And in my opinion, had he pursued any sport, he could have excelled beyond national and international level. My Pua just sang that song, the very famous song, Let It Be, by the Beatles. And those of you who know that song will know that it was not sung the way the Beatles sang it. She put so much beautiful emotions, so much touching emotions in the song. And on top of that, she even composed her own lyrics to suit the occasion. Otara, God bless you. And I hope that you take the advice that you're giving us all this evening. I hope you're taking the advice. Let it be. Let it be. Bhagwan knows best. Bhagwan has done what's best for him. We all have to believe that. I know how much this has impacted you. I know how much, how much grief and how much stress and how much pain you're going through right now. But I'm begging you that we need you to be mother and father to the rest of the siblings, and for us as well, your nieces and nephews and your children too. So thank you very much for that, Otara. Without much further ado, I would like to invite our Kulguru, Pandit Satyanand Sharma. And as I said, he is no stranger to his family. As a matter of fact, he has family. He shares a lot of beautiful memories with my dear Chacha John, and we are very privileged and honored to have him here. Yeah, he has performed many ceremonies for us, and he has fulfilled his role in every which way when it comes to our family. Over to you, Pandit Satyananji.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. At this time, we, for the past many weeks, we've been saying that we've been joining in prayers for Johnny's recovery. Unfortunately, tonight we'll tonight we'll ask Bhagavan to bless his soul. Shall we pray? Atma tvam girjamati sahachara pranah shariram griham pujate vishayo prabhogarachana Nidra samadrishtati Sanchada padayo pradakshana vidhi stotrani sarvagiro yadayata karma karomi tattadakilam Shambho tava radhanam Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandaya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Patye Namah Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanurmardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My revered brother, Srimadan Jagdeo ji, my other brothers and sisters from the Jagdeo family, Auntie Tara and the rest of all of you who are present, whether you're in this Zoom call or not. I think this is as difficult for me as it is for you, even though this is your biological brother, like Yogi said. I've spent so much time with Johnny. I've been thinking today that I can't remember ever calling him John. I always address him as Johnny or Surendra. And I'd like to share many of those stories and great times we spent together. But I guess we'll have a few nights and we'll do bits and pieces. Why? Because when one speaks of Surendra, it commands a light-hearted conversation. And at this time, unfortunately, in past tense. Today I was speaking with Ryan from Guyana, John's son, and I called to, share his grief, and inevitably after a few minutes, we started making jokes about Johnny. When I spoke with Madan Bhai, you cannot help but remember the pleasant nature, how this man will find the most difficult situation and have a good approach to it, and one that will even make you laugh. Today I was laughing by myself, thinking of a joke I shared with John. I want to share those jokes with you, or maybe not tonight as we go on for a few nights. Tonight, it would be beneficial to the Atma of Johnny for us to recite a few verses from the scripture, because as the soul lingers, our prayers, our positive thoughts, our kirtans and bhajans and prayers in any form would help the travels of the soul up until the Sapindi karma is finished, the 1-year work, the merging of the Atma and with the Atma of the ancestors. But before I read a verse or two from Bhagavad Gita, I remembered today some details, and I think especially of Madan Bhai, of the lessons he has been confronted with in life. The rest of the family as well, Auntie Tara and him, are the older siblings. And they've, undergone the harsh realities of losing their mom and dad, but that happens to all of us. We can consider that normal. But I remember today very vividly when Madan Bhai was singing to that beautiful soul, my little nephew Yajna. When all that could come to his mind was saying to his son in the form of a song, Forever Young, as he sang when Yajna was leaving. And then there was Bonnie. And today there's Johnny. And in my heart, I'm grateful for the vastness of his intelligence and the scope of his scriptural knowledge, especially now that he has delved even deeper in Bhagavad Gita and teaching it, a constant reminder of Bhagavan's grace. But it's the same for the rest of the family. They've suffered the loss of so many of the younger ones in Auntie Tara's case and Madan Bhai's case. But like he knows and the rest of the family, they know as well that these harsh realities, they have deep learning lessons within them. And I know that my brother Madan Bhai is not wasting these opportunities, that he's learning from these experiences and sharing it with people so that we all would be able to handle these inevitable occurrences in our life. I know there are many people online, so tonight, for the soul of Johnny, I just want to read a few verses from Bhagavad Gita. I've been pondering that Johnny will not be there anymore. And physically, it is true he will not be there anymore. His memories will live on with us. But everyone whose life or lives he touched. But Bhagavad Gita plays a very pivotal role here, especially at such a crucial time, in affording us relevant knowledge and understanding in order for us to cope with these situations, especially when we consider them so premature. There's a beautiful verse in chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita, verse 4. Bhumirapo analo vayu kambano buddhirevacha ahamkara itiyam me bhinna prakritirastada. That when we ponder that this brother that we had was just not one component, it was not just one thing. We should understand this in a little bit more details. And this is for all of us who are alive. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita in this verse that, look, Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu, that this that you see in front of the mirror is not you. Everything that you see in front of the mirror belong to me. Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu, that the body is made up of 5 elements: Bhumi, earth, Apa, fire, etc. The body is made up of water, fire, air, space. And water. And so the same thing is told to us in Ramayana. Chitijal Pavak Gagan Samira. Bhagavan Sri Ram is explaining to Tara when she was questioning the death of her husband, Bali. So Bhagavan says that which has made up this human body is what is called apara prakriti, my lower energy. But he's saying to Arjun that, hey Mahabaho, I also have, that is my apara prakriti, my lower energy, but I also have something that is called my para prakriti. And now he's mentioning this in verse 5. Apareyamitastvanyam prakriting vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yaedam dharyate jagat. Sri Krishna says to Arjuna that, look, that is my lower energy, but my jiva bhutam, this is my superior energy. It is called the jiva shakti. In the Western world, we call it energy, we call it soul, we call it consciousness, whatever we call it. Jiva shakti is referred to as the atma, the individual atma. So when we examine the human body, the power, the battery, the power source for this human body is the soul. It powers that which is also created by or belong to Bhagavan. Now, the body has died, but has the soul died? We all know the answer to that. What does Bhagavan tell us in Bhagavad Gita so that we can understand it a little bit further? He says, Natvevaham jatunasam natam neme janadhipa nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamataha param. Bhagavad Gita tells us in chapter 2, verse 12, Sri Krishna is telling Arjun that, Arjun, you see in the war of Kurukshetra, when so many people are standing in front of Arjun, that look, there was never a time Arjuna and I wasn't here. Sri Krishna is talking about himself in a human form. Natevaham jatu natve. Nor you, Arjun, there was never a time when you weren't here. Nor all these kings. There was never a time, Janadipa, when these kings weren't here, nor in the future, Bhavishyamaha, nor in the future, Arjun, will any one of us cease to be. Now, what that tells us is that the higher energy, the para prakriti that Bhagavan is talking about, is that lives forever. Maran Bhai will tell you, this is elaborately explained in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2 especially. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. I remember being by my mom's bedside as she was leaving the body and reading this slok for her. Why? Because the soul exists forever. It wasn't born, so it wouldn't die. And so when the body is destroyed, the soul is not. But we all know that. So if the soul exists forever, the body has died, the body is, it's the 5 elements. That will leave us, but the soul lives on. The 5 elements, like I mentioned before, take for example, if someone dies and the body is left there, or let's take an animal is the same thing. The example might be a little bit graphic, as someone told me once. So a body dies and it's left there. What would happen to that body? As long as it's not attended to, if even it's attended to, the first thing, you check if there's any heat in the body. The body dies, it becomes cold. That is representative of the heat that Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita is talking about, of the fire. When the body becomes cold, then it's left for a few days and it starts swelling up. When it swells up, it starts, there are juicy contents that are coming out of the pores of that body, representative of the water that the body is made up of. Now that same body becomes a whole lot thinner and lighter and takes up less space. That's the water that is left. Then the body will be there and it will start to rot. When the body starts to rot, it becomes into dust. In some cultures, we say, dust to dust. When it becomes dust and it merges with the earth, then the earth goes back to earth. The space that body used to take, as long as the body rots and the dust is merged with dust, the space that it took up is yielded back to space. So fire, water, air, if I missed anyone, I think the air, when the body, soul, and then it reduced in size, the air was gone, the water was gone, the fire was gone, and now the dust, became dharti, and beyond that, it yielded back to space. The space was yielded back. Now we understand that. That is what happens to the body.
You are awesome. Thank you so much. Big song to save you.
All right, so we're getting a little bit disturbance there. So I'll just be a few minutes more. So the space is yielded back to space. But if the soul is forever, then what happens to the soul? At no point in time can a soul be without a body. The soul has to have a body to carry it. Now, do we get the human body back again immediately? Ved helps us to understand. Ihachedakodbodhum prakusirasya vishrusaha tata sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. Now, because the soul is forever, the body has died. What happens? Do we get the body right away again? According to Bhagavad Gita or according to the scriptures? This is Yajur Ved, Kathopanishad, chapter 2, verse 3, Canto 2, chapter 3, verse 4. Kathopanishad is telling us that Tata Sargeshu, that it takes the human soul, Sargeshu here is the plural for what is called a kalp. A kalp is a measurement of time. In Hinduism, was written in Bhagavad Gita and Ved, of course. This verse tells us that it takes us many kalpas to get the human body again. We do not just get the human body as soon as we lose it. According to the rule, there's an exception to the rule, and the exception is, it's called God's causeless mercy. That God, that Sakshi that sits within us and is taking note of our actions, will decide how quick we get the human body. If we have done nothing to augment our spirituality and to live proper human lives, dharmic life, then we'll go through the way the scriptures recommend it, and it will take many, many kalpas to get the human body again. Now, kalpa is a long measurement of time. I would not give you the full details, but a kalpa is 432,000 years, which is Kali Yuga. And then, Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga and Sat Yuga, Dwapar, 1.296 thousand million years, and then Treta is 3 times that. That's why it's called Treta. It's 1.728 thousand years. Then there's Satyug, and Satyug is very long, of course, and this is called one Chaturyug. So all these years together is one Chaturyug, which is 4.32 billion years. That multiplied 71 times is equal to one Manvantar. When we read, the Pandits will tell you that who are online. One Manvantar is one Manu, one Manvantar. That's not a kalp. A Manvantar multiplied by 14 becomes one kalp. So one kalp is 4,294,080,000 years. According to Ved, this is the calculation according to Ved. This is how long one kalpa takes. Now, Ved is also saying that it takes us many kalpas to get the human body again. That is why this human body is said to be so precious, which we can talk about later. The other pundits will tell you about. So in concluding my point here, the human body is given to us to attain God. That is its highest purpose. If we fail to make a gallant effort, we will get the body again, but it will be many, many kalpas. If God has recognized that Bhagavan sits within us, Isvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshi Arjun Tishtati, that I sit in your heart and I take note of your thoughts and your actions, of course. So the question is, what happens to the soul if it is forever? If the soul is eternal and the human body has been destroyed, we understand from the scriptures, we have to always have a body, except in pralay. That's a different explanation. We can talk about that another night. When the soul, the soul rests with Bhagavan in dissolution. It's suspended animation, it's called. Outside of that period of time, which is the night of Brahma, then the soul has to have a body. So what happens? This is what happens according to Ramayana. Akar chari lakh chaurasi jati jiva jal talvasi. Akar chari lakh chaurasi. That we have 8,400,000 species. The soul would be going around in those species until it is time for it. Not forgetting, the soul will first go to Swarg, to Pitralok. It will be there for a period of time. Based on all the good karmas, we know how Johnny lived. And we'll talk about that another night. I can't even count how many wakes we've gone to. As Ryan was saying, that his father has served so well and he has died at such a time when, we cannot have that same physical gathering, but at least we're able to gather this way. So Bhagavan will make that decision, but according to the scriptures, Akarachari Lakh Chaurasi, that we go around with the lower forms of animals until it is time again for us to get the human body. But like I mentioned before, the exception to the rule is God's causeless mercy. We'll be in Swarg, like Johnny will be. He'll go to Pitralok and he'll enjoy the benefits, the results, the fruits of his karma. We don't know for how long. Could be a year, could be 10 years, it could be 100 years, based on how much punya you have performed in your life. And for that, we can be hopeful for Johnny, knowing how he lived and the contributions he made to society. But according to the scriptures, if you don't make any effort, this is what will happen until the end of one kalpa, until you get the human body again to try. Tonight, I speak with relief. No one has told me, but I know I've been I've spent many, many years together with Johnny and his contribution to society, not only religiously, but in the field of sports. He contributed to his village in many, many different ways. And so this is a loss for my village, someone who has been a fixture for my village. A loss in the Jagdeo's family is a loss for my village in more ways than not. And so more so for us as well, for me and the rest of my siblings. And there's never been a time when at least one member of the Jagdeo family has not been an integral part of our lives, whether it's at home in Guyana or here. And so I really do wish Johnny well, and I hope that if he hasn't done enough, and we wouldn't know that, we don't know anybody's mind, only the mind will determine that if he hasn't done enough to attain God's permanent abode, I pray that Bhagavan will give him another human body very quickly to appropriate parents and time and situation, so that he can continue his great work, accumulate punyas, and eventually join Bhagavan in his abode. I thank all of you, especially Yogi, and Madan Bhai is more qualified than me to speak on Bhagavad Gita, but I appreciate This title that they've given me I'm not deserving of that title. I appreciate it, but this is a title because of my great-grandfather. Madan Bhai knows my great-grandfather personally, and then my grandfather, my Aja, then my dad. They have served this family as this family's priest for decades and decades. And today I have the honor of doing that. Unfortunately, tonight we're presiding over the loss of Johnny, but I ask Bhagwan to bless his soul. My sympathy to the entire family, to Ryan in Guyana, to all Johnny's godchildren, and especially to Auntie Kumari and Kenny, who's here. I pray that Bhagwan will give you strength to deal with this. Rest assured that Johnny was a good man. He did a lot for society. He'll be in a good place, and let us wish him well. Brindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.
Thank you very much for those beautiful words. It's weird for me to call you Satyanan. I'm used to calling you Satnanara. Thank you very much for sharing those very touching sentiments as well. And I know I speak on behalf of the rest of the family when I say we all feel a little bit better when we know you're here with us, when we know you're here to guide us through these most difficult times, as you have been doing for as long as I can remember, and I'm sure even before that. Thank you very much once again. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing from you night after night as we continue to share these beautiful memories of my dear late Chacha John. Next up, I would just like to welcome my dear brother, Pandit Satish Deo. I know he's been with us for some time now, and also my dear friend as well, and he's like family also, who is Pandit Dwarkaji. Welcome, Swagatam. Thank you all. Thank you both for being here. We will hear from them a little bit later in the program. I was just told that it was indicated that Uncle Robert Tyndall is here with us also from Guyana. And Uncle Robert, we will take your contribution in a bit. But before we do that, I would like to invite a very good friend of my dad. His name is Dave Narayan. He's from the UK. He was a former wildfire teammate of my father. And I would like to ask him, from number 67 village, I would like to ask him to say a few words. Over to you, Uncle Dave.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Good. Brothers and sisters all, a very good evening to all of you who has taken the time to join this virtual room to pay our respects to John or Surendra Kumar. I'll call him John tonight because that's all I knew him by. And the rest of the family. We join the rest of the family at this very sad time in their lives. For those of you who may not know me that well, I'm originally from 67 village. My name is Dave Narayan, like Yogi said. I now live in London, UK. My wife is from 73 village. Her name is Kathleen. So some homework for some of you to find out who she really is. Look, I've known John for a very long time. We played cricket together. I remember John had a very, very long run-up when he was bowling. We used to have some good tussles. And like we mentioned several times before, I also knew John as an athlete. He took part in many sports meetings at school and elsewhere. And look, John was a very quiet and jovial person, in my opinion. He was always a pleasure to be around. And I was lucky to count him as one of my friends. Then we lost contact for a while because I went off to Georgetown to continue with my studies. And I bumped into John in Georgetown when he worked at the Pegasus Hotel. And you know, in those days, things were really bad with us in Georgetown. We were practically starving there. And me and John had a chat, and I remember he took out money from his pocket and he bought a tennis roll and a glass of Mobby for me. Can never forget that. Look, later on in life, John came closer to home, and I think he was the first bar manager at the then new Parsram Hotel in Skeldon. By then, John had become my family. He got married to my niece, Kumari. You know, and John worked hard. I knew that for a fact. John worked hard to make his family very happy. You know, John would be sadly missed by all of that, I am sure. You know, once you knew John, you were hooked on John. He was that sort of chap. He had that gift in him. Look, I can go on a little bit more about John, but I know time is other people waiting in the wings to speak. So I'll say on behalf of my family here in the UK, my brothers and sisters, the Narine family, we would like to extend our sincerest condolences to Kumari, to the children and the grandchildren, to the rest of the Jagdeo family and the Netram family. Our thoughts and prayers are with you at this tragic time in your life. Stay strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those, for sharing those wonderful memories with us, Uncle Dave, and you're absolutely right. Once you had the opportunity, I'm smiling now because once you had the opportunity of meeting my chacha, you can never forget him. He was that kind of a person. He was such an impressive person, such a jovial person, that you would always want to have a conversation with him. And I would like to thank you for sharing those beautiful memories with us here this evening. Next, I'm gonna take a break from the speeches and I'll ask my dad to sing a bhajan. After which I would like to put Pandit Dwarkaji on notice. After my dad, he will give his contribution.
This song that I'm going to sing is dedicated to my two nephews, Kenny and Ryan. I want to tell you that your father was a great man. Your father has left large footprints for you guys to follow. And in this song, your father is telling you, and he's pleading with you. He says, "Mera naam karega roshan, jag mein mera raaj dulara." That, oh, you too, oh, you the lamp, the apple of my eyes, make my name to shine, make my name great in this world. You carry the title of the Jagdeo, and make that name, make everyone be proud of your dad as you grow up. I know you will. Chacho is here. You have other Chachos, and we're all here for you guys. And I know that you will make your dad proud of you. God bless you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful bhajan. And now, without much further ado, I would like to invite my dear friend and family member, Pandit Dwarka Mathuraji, to give his contribution. Over to you, Pandit.
Sitaram, everyone. Meeting is always pleasurable, and parting is always and will always be painful. In life, when we meet someone whom we love, we laugh, we care for them, and the memories will sure not disappear. To all the immediate family and members, friends and loved ones whom have known this father for such a long time, should be reminded that we may be beyond nature, all the things that we enjoy every day in our lives, but we are not beyond Bhagwan. We are not beyond the Atma, which merges back with the Param Atma. And to this wonderful, wonderful father and brother, in every relationship we may have with him, we know that he has a place special because of all the great work, the great deeds he has performed. I'll say this prayer, and I know that all that we are doing on his behalf, Bhagwan will give him certainly a resting place. Yam Brahma Varunindra Rudra Maruta Stunuvanti Divya Veshtave Vedai Sang Padakramo Parishade Gayanti Yam Samaga Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Thank you all for your time. God bless.
Thank you very much, Pandit Dwarkaji, for your contribution here this evening. It means a lot to myself and the entire Jagdeo family. Next up, I would like to invite a very dear friend of my late Chacha John. This is someone who has been friends with my Chacha from childhood. They grew up together, they grew up like brothers, and I'm sure he has some beautiful memories that he would like to share with us all. Without much further ado, I would like to ask Uncle Robert Tyndall to make his contribution this evening. Over to you, Uncle Robert. Uncle Robert, if you're there, please unmute your mic and so we can all hear you.
He did it.
You see him, Adam? As we're trying to locate Uncle Robert's phone. Also, please bear in mind, if your phone is unmuted, please mute your phones, so this way we don't have any interruptions. Okay, Uncle Robert, yeah, we can see you now. Please unmute your phone on your end. Yes.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Are you hearing me there?
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
Hearing you loud and clear. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Yes.
Thanks very much. I must say good night to all of you, and I am very, very much grieved at this stage here. So there are so many things I want to say, but I don't know how I will be able to go through some of them. I have known John for over 50 years, and we were buddy friends, very, very close friends. We actually, as we say, we ate together. He would eat half and I would eat half. I am very much confused that with the development of medical science, a man in the hospital for 7 or 8 weeks, I think America, the home of doctors, somebody should have saved him. He should have survived. And I am not too happy about that. There are many things about John that I remember. One, it stands out in cricket. He was a very difficult bowler to get away. He always cramp you for room. Anybody know John? And I remember a famous match watched by his father at 72 ground. There was an incident where Hari Lal was saying, look, these boys are deadly. So John's father said, you want to operate as if you have Statham and Truman here. He said, look, they are no less than Statham and Truman. So we had a wonderful time, bowling, batting, feeling. He's gone now. I don't know what to do. I have difficulty eating. But to the grieving relative, I want to say this. This is an opportunity for you to organize your life. I hope that he was able to organize his life when he was in hospital, because the Christian way is known to him and maybe the Hindu way is known to him. I want you all to take this thing very, very seriously on your future, your destiny. The Bible says it's appointed unto men once to die, and after death, there's a judgment. I want to tell the relative that you have great reason to weep, because when Jesus went to Bethany, in the book of John 11, he went there. Martha said, Lord, if you were here, my brother would not have died. And Jesus wept. The situation is of such that anybody would weep when you can lose such a stalwart. Jesus, who was God in the flesh, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, wept. But that is very high scriptures. I'm not here for that. I want to encourage you all to fight towards the direction of perfection. Use his life. I do hope that someone can sing Jabu Jabu Bahari Aye for me, because that is his great song that he have left. I have record of all his songs. And I do hope that we can use his life to enhance our own lives. Because when you think of John, you only think of laughter. You only think of everything is laugh and giggle. You know, there are so many things I cannot discuss of him. He makes you laugh the sight. My point here tonight to Tara, I heard her speech, it was touching, that in the midst of life are the ways of death. And Shakespeare said that we begin to die the moment we are conceived. And death is much a part of life as birth. That death is something that will happen to all of us. I know you all would grieve, but then use it to enhance your own life. My condolence goes to all the relatives and friends, and may God bless all of you.
Thank you very much for sharing those beautiful memories and for saying such kind words about your lifelong friend. I know Uncle Robert. As you all know, Uncle Robert is an assistant commissioner of police in the Guyana Police Force in Georgetown, Guyana, or he was. He's retired now, and he's someone very proud of, also from our villages of number 73 village back home in Guyana. Uncle Robert, if you're available, maybe another night you can tell us some more stories about Chacha Jan. Some of the ones that you can share to the public, we'd love to have you back on to say something about him. But thank you very much for your contribution this evening. With us, we also have someone that has known this family for many years, and he's no other than Uncle Arvin Gomani, and I would like to ask him to make his contribution. He's a very good friend of my late Chacha John Asinon. Over to you, Uncle Arvin.
Sitaram, namaste, good night, assalamu alaikum. Could you all hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
I would like to share my condolences to everyone, the entire Jagdeo family, especially to Bahin Kumari and his children and grandchildren. I have a lot of story about John, but I know there's a lot of speakers and a lot of people want to say something, say contributions. We were far back, my brother Baran could say, but I don't want to go into that, but I have to tell you a little bit of my brother's life. For me, I have no fault. I never hear anything bad or know anything about this brother. He always have that smile as everybody's talking about, and I could tell you more of that smile. We've been afar away in singing and brotherhood and community work and whatever. And of such, I want to make it short. I would like to dedicate this little bhajan tonight because he was a lover of music and singing. We all do this in Guyana. We relieve a lot of people's pain, go in and sing in Guyana, and we share the teachings of our scripture. Together, Brother Madan and my son Yogi, I'm very proud of you, son, and the rest. And my sister Tara and the rest, I can't remember the names, but I want to share our sympathy or empathy and condolences to you all. All right, so tonight I would like to just make it short. Om Vishwani Deva Savatare Duretani Paraswa Yadbarang Tanaswa Hiranya Karva Samavarata Tagri Bhutasya Jata Patire Kayasi Sadadama Prithvi Jamutemam Kashmai Deva Yahavisha Videm Om Kashmai Deva Yahavisha Videm Pita Tumhi Mata Tumhi Bai Saka Tujan Malik Swami Bhi Tuhi Kaisa De Koi Man उमर का पंछी उड़ता जाता क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम गाता रे उमर का पंछी उड़ता जाता क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम गाता रे किसी पता है कल क्या होगा पता नहीं किस पल का होगा किसी पता है कल क्या होगा पता नहीं किस कल क्या होगा काला चक्र चल माता क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे उमर का पंछी उड़ता जाता क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे कच्ची सासू की क्या आशा कर जाए कब बंद तू माता कच्ची सासू की क्या आशा कर जाए कब बंद तू माता मोर क्यों मन करू माता तू प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे उमर का पंछी उड़ता जाता तू प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे आज कहे कल नाम रटूंगा कल आए फिर कल जप लूंगा आज कहे कल न दूंगा कल आए फिर कल जप लूंगा मेरा पल कभी लौट न आता क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे पंछी उड़ता जाता क्यों प्राणी कभू नाम न गाता रे क्यों प्राणी प्रभु नाम न गाता रे. Thank you very much, and may his soul, as we pray together all the beautiful speakers and Pandits. I, with my due respect to all of you, by Satyana, long time didn't see you. You still have it on. I remember your father very well. So I want to say, may the soul have a merged with the Paramatta, as Satyana said. Together we pray, and whatever, I don't know anything wrong with my brother John. I pray with the family. May the soul have a real resting place, and may he be reborn again according to his karma. Thank you very much. Namaste, and have a blessed night, everybody. Be safe, be strong.
Thank you very much, Uncle Arvind Gomani, for that wonderful contribution. That song that you sang was very appropriate. And the second verse, it says, Kisi pata hai kal kya hoga. That some people may know what will happen tomorrow, but pata nahi kis pal kya hoga. But we don't know what can happen the very next moment. Kala chakra chalta madmata kyo prani prabhu naam nagata re. That the wheel of time keeps turning continuously. So, O soul, why are you not saying the name of Bhagwan? Very appropriate indeed. Thank you very much for that. Without much further ado, I would like to ask, as a matter of fact, I would like to invite the Chacha of our dear Pandit Dwarkaji, who is my dear Panditji Mathura, all the way from the Bronx, New York. He's a very eloquent, charismatic speaker, and I would like to ask him, first of all, Panditji, thank you for joining with myself and the entire Jagdeo family this evening, and we would like to ask of you to make your contribution now. Over to you, Panditji.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
My deepest sympathy goes out to the family who has lost their loved one. So long we come into this world, one day we'll have to leave. No one will live forever in this life. An important statement for all of us. It is our hope, our prayers and thoughts through these wonderful bhajans and words of great wisdom and expression that his soul will find a perfect journey into the place of nirvana, happiness. We must never underestimate the power of prayer. Prayer, when expressed through the mind, the body, the soul, especially the heart, such prayer would be accepted with both hands of the God. So the power of prayer, the Bhagavad Gita reminds us, reduce the inflictions of the past, the infatuation of the present, but prepare you for the certainty of the future. In those words, let me ask you for half a minute, let us, in solace to the feet of that Supreme Master, we pray and ask that our prayers be given unto that soul a perfect journey as he travel thereafter. Let us pray. Om Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansara Saram Bhujagendaharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Hari Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Let me say to the audience, I do not know the deceased, but I very much know Yogi Ji. He is a family friend of ours, And recently my brother passed away, and he was very kind enough. For any reason, he would always join us in prayers and would be to help us whenever the occasion arises. And when I learned his uncle passed away, his Cheche, then I felt that it's an obligation somewhere in my life that I must do a little prayer on behalf of the soul. I want to leave with the audience this evening 2 quick thoughts and conclude. There's a little story of Nachiketu, a young little boy, that he wanted to know what becomes of the soul after it leaves his body. And he went to the home of the Supreme Master Bhagwan Vishnu. And after spending 3 days there, the Lord came and received him and apologized for him waiting, but offered him 3 boons. He said, ask of me anything that you want, and I'm prepared to give you. And he said, all I need to know, what becomes of the soul after death? And the Lord said, well, listen, I'm prepared to give you anything in the universe, but ask me not that question. The answer to the little boy said, I will settle for nothing in the world. I seek knowledge. I seek knowledge, especially the knowledge that what becomes of the soul after death. A great example for all of us who are alive today. The mundane things will come and go, but knowledge will be perpetual in your life. You must always become an Nachiketu, seeking to find out what is true knowledge of our existence in this life. And finally, Kunti was one of the great devout followers of Bhagwan Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata. And when Bhagwan Krishna is about to release himself and to go back into that atmosphere, she started to cry. And the Lord came and asked of her, he said, what are you crying for? He said, I'll miss you. Well, I tell you what, you've been so good to me. Ask of me anything that you want, and I will give to you. And she responded, he said, give me all the punishment that exists in the world. And that was an astonishing statement for many that were listening, and even Bhagwan Krishna himself. And he asked, well, why do you want to be punished? And I conclude by telling you a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, from the verse of our scripture. Jo parata dukha pavahi sri duni duni pachitai kal hi karma hi ishwari ki mitya doshagai. Simply means it is humanity perception to life that we only go to God when we need him. And when we don't need him, he's irrelevant to our life. My dear friends, we all need to have God in our life now. And we need to ask God in our life through the medium of prayers that John will enjoy a very special place in the heavenly region. Don't underestimate the power of prayer. It can make a difference in life. To that, once again, I say with all humility and respect to each and every one, to the family, our deepest sympathy. And I say one other statement, that no one will live 1 second longer than they're entitled to live, or you will die 1 second before you're supposed to die. When your time comes to die, you have to leave this world. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadguru. Bhagwan Krishna, you're the ultimate. And we beseech you with all humility, love, and respect, on behalf of the family and all those who are listening, to accept our prayers as a medium of providing to that soul of John a very special place, a journey of tranquility, and a destination of all peacefulness. Thank you for listening to me. Good luck. God bless. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Panuji. It means a lot to myself and the entire Jagdeo family, as I said, to have you here with us this evening. As usual, I always love to listen to you speak, and you've always shared such wonderful pearls of wisdom with us all. You know, my chacha would have really enjoyed your talks, and I think you would have been really impressed with the kind of outpour of love that we've been receiving thus far. I just took a look at the amount of participants that we have, and we're somewhere close to 150 people here this evening with us. And I can see relatives and friends from all over the globe, rather. As you can see, we had someone from the UK, we have people from Canada, we have people from Guyana, we have my chachas watching from Minnesota, we have people from Florida, we have people from all over the globe out here this evening in this virtual week, if you will, to pay respects to such a wonderful individual who was my dear Chacha John. This would be the last speaker for this evening, and he is no other than my dear brother, my buddy Bhaiya, the very respected Pandit Satish Deo. Over to you, Panditji.
Obviously, namaskar, Victor.
Dhanyavad, Bhaiya. Please do join me in a few moments of pratna. Yamaya Dharmarajaya Mrityave Chantakaya Cha Vaivasvataya Kalaya Sarvabhutakshayaya Cha Modumbaraya Dakhanaya Nilaya Paramishthini Vrikodaraya Chitraya Chitraguptaya Vai Namah. Hari Om. Thank you, Bhai Yogi Ji. I would like to say, just as Pandit Ji Mathura just said, I did not personally know our dear Chacha John, and I refer to him as Chacha because any Chacha of my brother is a Chacha of mine. Although I didn't know him personally, it has been my privilege to know this great family. Since I have migrated here to the US about 7 years ago, coming up to 7 years ago, I always remark this whenever we have gatherings, whenever they have any puja and I'm present, I always remark on this fact that they always treat me as one of their own, and we have that relationship. You know, I fear for my Nana's life recently, actually. All I had to do was give one message. And my dear brother Yogi and our dear Pitaji also was there. Excuse me for turning the camera off for a minute. I just had to sort something out here. And that means a lot to me. That relationship means a lot to me. Sometimes people of your own blood will not treat you like that. So wonderfully. So therefore, the grief that the family is feeling at this time, I commiserate and share with them as well that feeling, in spite of the fact that I never met our dear Chacha John. I just only want to read one shloka because I know time is pressing, and then all I want to do is sing a few. Since I know that our dear Chacha was a great lover of music, I just want to sing a couple of lines. I shall not sing a whole bhajan, but a couple of lines, and hopefully be able to finish in a very, very short space of time. So this shloka, which I shall read at this time, is taken from the Garud Puran, which is another relevant shastra for this occasion. Dakti de punardeha pinderutpadyate khaga astamatra kumanena vibhumte shubhashubham. अर्थात कि विष्णु भगवान बोले, हे खग, पहली देह के जल जाने पर पिंडों से फिर देह उत्पन्न होती है। ये हाथ भर भी होती है, जिस देह से यम के मार्ग में शुभ तथा अशुभ को भोगता है। This refers to what our revered Panditji Satyanand Sharma said just now, and he was saying the fact that we do not get this human body right away, and yet the Atma can never be without a body, and that comes from the Yajurveda. What he was saying, what Bhagavan Vishnu says in this shloka, he makes reference to the fact that after the physical body is cremated, and in Sanatan Dharma, cremation is preferred because it destroys the attachment that the Atma has for the body. As long as the body would lie in state, the Atma will linger, and again, I piggyback off of a word that Pandit Satyanandji used, that the Atma will linger around for that amount of time. In fact, not only that, after the cremation, the Atma leaves on the 13th day, according to what is written in Garuda Puran. Although we do the Shraddha on the 12th day, we do it in advance, the Atma will actually begin its journey on the 13th day. So the Garuda Puran, all of our Shastra reflect the same thing. Ramayana and Gita was quoted by Panditji earlier, and the Garuda Puran is also mirroring the same sentiments also. And based upon that also, if the Atma is traveling, that is why in Sanatan Dharma, the word Sadgati or Om Shanti or Moksha Prado Bhava is used whenever we are praying for the Atma. We are not asking the Atma to rest as such, but rather we are asking that it will attain moksha in the end. That is the philosophy of Sanatan Dharma. And as I said, I just want to finish my contribution with a couple of lines of a bhajan, which I believe is appropriate here. It reminds us that we cannot carry anything with us. What has happened to our dear Chacha will happen to all of us one day, and we cannot carry everything with us. Anything, in fact, we cannot carry with us. And we always have to be prepared for that moment, because we do not know when it will come upon us. बांध के गठरिया धन बांध के गठरिया बांध के गठरिया धन बांध के गठरिया कोई नाले जय धन बांध के गठरिया जब यमराज पलंग पर बैठे जब यमराज पलंग पर बैठे उलट गए दोनों नैना पटरिया उलट गए दोनों नैना पटरिया कोई नाले जय धन बांध के गठरिया चार जनों मिले खाट उठावे चार जनों मिले खाट उठावे सूख गई जैसे बन की लकड़िया सूख गए जैसे बन की लकड़िया कोई नाले जय धन बांध की गठरिया कोई नाले जय धन बांध की गठरिया कोई नाले जय धन बांध की गठरिया. Thank you to the entire family. My respect also to our dear Pitaji, Shriman Madanji Kumar Jagdeo, great philosopher, great scholar of Bhagavad Gita, whom I have tremendous respect for, and who always treat me as his own son as well. My humble respect to you and all of the family, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Preta moksha prado bhava. May our dear Chacha John indeed attain moksha in the end. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much,
Panditji.
but it's a Teji, and as I've always said to you, what I love the most about you is the old school style that you have, and of course the fountain of knowledge that flows from you as well. We are indeed very privileged as a family, together with my Chachi, Kumari, and my two brothers, Ryan and Kenny, to have such knowledgeable and pundits of such caliber to join with us here this evening. You don't know how grateful we are to each and every one of you. And we hope that you will find some time in your busy schedule, given everything that's happening right now, to grace us with your presence night after night. We plan to go right now, from now until the funeral, which will be held on Saturday, June 6th, which also would have been my late dear Chacha's 60th birthday. As I've said before, Bhagwan had different plans for him, and we do believe that he knows best, and we would like to invite each and every one of you to join us here every evening starting at 7:30 p.m. We will try to finish at around 9:30 to 10, around there, because I know it's a weekday, it's a working day for those of us who have returned to work. I myself has to go back to work in the morning. But we'd like to thank you for joining us here this evening. And we'd like to invite you to join us again night after night. We're going to close off with this bhajan that is very dear to this family. As you know, our Ishtadeo is Bhagwan Sri Krishna. As we know, everything in this world goes back to him. And this bhajan talks about, it says, Jab charo taraf andiyara ho, asha ka dur kinara ho. When the four corners of the world seem to be dark and there's no hope, asha means hope, asha ka dur kinara ho, and hope seems to be very far away. Aur koi na keva nahara ho, and there's no one else left to save us. Then, Jai 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 Krishna Hare. It's only you, O Bhagwan, that can take us across this river of birth and death. I pray that Bhagwan Shri Krishna bless my Chacha's soul as he's dedicated a great part of his life in serving Bhagwan and in bringing solace and comfort to many families through the medium of his singing. तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरे नाम की माला जपत रहा, तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरे नाम का माला जपत रहा, भव सागर से मेरी नैया, सागर से मेरी नैया, कैसे मैं भव पार करूं, कैसे मैं जब चारों तरफ कियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, जब चारों तरफ कियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न केवल Join us in closing prayers. Before I do that, I would like to thank my dear brother Anil for being here to accompany us with Indora. Anil is from our village, number 73 village, and we're very happy and honored to have him here with us this evening. Let us all pray. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu cha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. O Lord, you alone are our mother, you alone are our father, you alone are our brother, you alone are our friend, you alone are our wealth, you alone are our Lord. O Lord, indeed, you alone are our everything. Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Thank you very much, and may you all enjoy the rest of your evening.